today we are so happy to finish our long journey of 2.5 months with a very interesting, in my view, probably one of the most interesting topic, because it affects us in all senses. Please, can I know if you can see my slides of fake news and hate speech? Yes. Okay, good. So this is the final topic for our long sessions, our long journey of learning different topics as the preparation for the camp. I think you all know the camp was postponed into August 2026, but it's okay. We will continue to do some activities together until then. So I will start my presentation. So first of all, I want to really be straightforward that, frankly speaking, I'm not I'm not an expert in this domain. I only received a training last year in this, and I got it from an expert, and then when I was preparing this slide, I relied on her materials, but also I consulted her. So I showed her what I prepared. So in case there are some questions that I'm not able to answer, no problem, I will refer them to the expert. But I think it's important that we understand these things. So what is a hate speech? So it's an abusive speech targeting a group or individual on the basis of intrinsic characteristics. So when we talk about intrinsic characteristics, it can be like race, religion, and gender, and they're liable to threaten social peace. So basically, it's a speech, a negative speech, abusive speech targeting a person or a group of people just based on the characteristics that they were born with. I mean, pretty much they were born with. When we talk about intrinsic, it's like inherent. So if you are a woman and then I attack you based on that, that's using a speech, so that actually is a hate speech. So if you are a Burundian, a Rwandan or Congolese, and then I say something bad about, based on simply the fact that you are a Congolese, a Burundian or Rwandan, so that can be qualified as hate speech. So hate speech is any type of communication, whether oral or written or conduct, that is offensive or uses derogatory or discriminatory language toward a person or group because of their identity. We need to understand here we are attacking people based on something they qualify as their identity, or something which is really their identity. So that's the hate speech. I think hate speech has increased. It has been there, of course, but now with social media, it increases, right? So that's why this topic is so relevant and important. Sorry, I said to you that already I have the flu, so you will bear with me. As I cough or as I sneeze. The good thing is that I'm at home. I hope I will not infect you guys via the Zoom. Okay. So when we talk about identity, it can be ethnic origin, religious affiliation. So all Muslims are like this, or ancestry, or gender, or skin color, nationality, and race. Hate speech not only causes personal harm. Obviously, when you are attacked based on identity, you feel you feel bad, right? But it can incite violence. It also undermines inclusion, diversity, human rights, It undermines social cohesion, erodes shared values, setting back peace, stability, sustainable development, and the respect for human right for all. So it's a pretty much a threat to peace, to sustainable peace. Hate speech affects many areas. Already I talked about the human rights, prevention of criminal atrocities, prevention and repression of terrorism, and the spread of violent extremism, the prevention and repression of gender-based violence, the improved protection of civilians and refugees, the fight against all forms of racism and discrimination, the protection of minority, the sustainability of peace, and action in favor of women, children, and young people. So it's a pretty bad thing. Hate speech is a bad thing. That's something we need for sure to insist on and to clarify. Hate speech is a bad thing. It's a threatened peace. It undermines people. It undermines the values of people. Yeah, it's not just a word. It's not just no. It's a threatened to peace. Okay, so in Rwanda, I think we all know that human beings from the Tutsi ethnic group were labeled as cockroaches. So this is a typical example of hate speech. So you take a whole section of the population and you no longer consider them as human beings, and you consider them as animals or as cockroaches. Maybe if I have any other example, you can drop it in the group, in the chat. But this is a typical example of hate speech. Okay, so why is it important that we discuss this topic? Okay, about fake news and hate speech. So number one, you need to understand that fake news can they spread hate speech. So, okay, so fake news really can spread a lot of hate speech. So if we understand hate speech is bad and it undermines peace, then we need for sure to take seriously the fake news, because fake news can easily uh, um, spread the hate speech. So fake news in connection to hate speech is not a challenge that arrived in recent years. It has always been there. However, a few elements make it more concerning than ever. So it has been there. Okay, this is not something that started yesterday. No, it has been there, but now it's a huge concern because of the following reasons. Number one, the development of proficient technology that allows high levels of manipulation. So I will explain what is a deep fake later, but you all know softwares like Photoshop that can edit a video. You know, you can bring two photos and put them together and create a very a photo that look as if the two people were together. So because of the Photoshop, you understand. So we have now technologies that for sure are capable to create content that can look like they are true. Number two, the existence of social media that multiply the speed of which news can travel. Now, with social media, if something happened at PS, in 1 second, in 2 seconds, the whole Huye, the whole Rwanda, the whole Great Lakes region, the whole world can be aware of it. You understand how it is concerning that the news can be spread in just a second. It has reached everywhere. So it's a good thing, right? So we can get to know what is happening across the world, but it also has a negative side because for fake news or hate speech through fake news can be can spread everywhere. Number three, in the current situation, the fastest ones get the credit. If you are the first one to break the news, you will be the winner. So now these days, there is money behind sharing news. So if you share, you are the first to share, then you can actually get money. So now you understand that some people they have monetary compensations as they share the content online. Okay, so these three elements they make the fake news so alarming because you have technology, social media, and also money behind uh, this whole industry. Actually, okay, I want us I want to see uh, I want us to play this. So normally we have right information and real information and fake news or false information. So I want to see how many times the false information spread, travels compared to the real information. For example, raise your hand if you think the false information, you know, spread 3 times faster than the real information. Okay, 3 times. Raise the hand. I can see you on the screen. Okay, 6 times. No, no one. Okay, 10 times. Ah, guys, come on. How about 15 times? I see. Oh, okay. Now I see you guys are so skeptical. But in reality, it's not that too much. It is only 6 times. Okay. But still, it's a lot, right? So if I share an information, for example, on social media, today Rodrigue is facilitating a session on fake news. And then I share another person put on social media. Today Rodrigue is in a bar, what? Drinking or whatever, fighting with his friend. So okay, this is just a scenario. Imagine that the second information, which is wrong, can spread 6 times faster than the first information. So it is still concerning, right? It is still concerning that false information, they tend to spread faster than the real information. Frankly speaking, in this session, if there is one outcome I wish to see, is to see you guys be careful how you share information online. For sure, it is so concerning. Okay? Okay, this is the second one. What percentages of fake news about Africa originate from outside of Africa? So, fake news about Africa, but that comes outside of Africa. That comes from outside of Africa. Okay, raise your hand if 28% of those fake news about Africa comes from outside of Africa. 28%? No? 50%? No? 50% I see. Okay. 60%? No one? 77%? Okay. I see. So 60%. You see how this is dangerous? So that means there is a lot of fake news that are created from outside of the continent by a certain guy who is in Belgium, who is in America, wherever, but about Africa. And then we are just consumers. So 60% of the fake news are not created on the continent, even if they are about Africa. So it's a huge, right? It's a big issue that even if inside of Africa we could be using our social media and the internet responsibly, we still have a huge threat coming outside of Africa. Okay, so now we are going to try to educate ourselves on all these new, I think for many of you, this is completely new things, but it's very important for us to understand this concept surrounding online information. We start by the news, okay? So we already know news. So news is a timely and relevant information about current events gathered from credible sources and presented to the public through various media channels. Its key characteristics include accuracy, objectivity, and a focus on topics that impact individuals, communities, and society as a whole. This is what the news is all about. Of course, we know that there is no such a thing as objective news, or there is always an editorial line. All these media, they have an editorial line, but we still accept them as a news because they try their best to be accurate, to base on some fact, right? Even though they might be selective in what they present, right? So they might be focusing on certain topic and not focusing on the other topic, right? So that's not a big issue. That's us. That's how human beings functions, right? But when we talk about fake news, it's a passively crafted, sensational, emotionally charged, misleading, or totally fabricated information that mimics the form of mainstream news. It can take various forms, including fabricated story, manipulated images or videos, and misleading headlines. So the fake news is fake because it presents itself as the news, but it is totally fabricated, or it is misleading, right? So that will be a fake news. Okay. Disinformation. So when we talk about disinformation, this is an information that is false. Let's go slowly together so that we get the difference. So it's a disinformation when it is an information that is false. And the person spreading it knows it is false. You get it? So it's a wrong information, and the person who is spreading it, he or she knows that this information is false. It is a deliberate and intentional lie, showing that the person are being actively misinformed by malicious actors. This information is characterized by the intentional dissemination of false information with the aim of deceiving, manipulating, or harming a person, a group, or a cause. Those involved in disinformation use a variety of means, such as fabricating misleading content, spreading unfounded rumors, or deliberately distorting fact. Often orchestrated for political ends, disinformation can sow confusion and alter public perception. Please, guys, you need to understand that some people, they create information and they share information knowing exactly that the information is totally wrong for the political end, right? So there is this innocence we have when you see something online and they feel like, of course, who can sit and create all of these things? And it is, yes, some people, they have full-time jobs to do exactly that, to create confusion, to mislead the general public. So we call that one disinformation. Okay? How about misinformation? We talk about misinformation when it comes to a false information that is spread online without a negative intent. Okay? So without the idea of misleading people. Misinformation takes place when incorrect information is disseminated without a bad intention. This can result from an understanding, a wrong interpretation of fact, or inexact transmission of information. Sorry. Social media have considerably amplified the phenomena of misinformation, as wrong information can spread quickly before being rectified. So the only difference between disinformation and misinformation is the fact that the person who is sharing for the misinformation, that he doesn't know that the information is not correct. But for the disinformation, he knows. He knows that the information is totally wrong. Okay? I hope this is clear, right? Can you just raise the hand to show that this is clear for all of you before I add another thing? Okay? Yes, that is clear. Thank you. So, malinformation. So, malinformation is the sharing of genuine information, which means the right information, with the intent to cause harm. Okay? With the intent to cause harm. Unlike disinformation, which involves the dissemination of false information, malinformation involves the disclosure of true information, but with the aim of causing harm. So this time the information is correct, but it is being shared with the intention of causing harm. This can take the form of diverging, secret, defamation, or publication of confidential data. As a result, misinformation can cause significant damage to a person's or organization reputation. Okay, let me use the language of young people. Maybe your girlfriend has shared with you some photos, right? So you did not create those photos yourself. It is a true photo, but it is confidential. And then you share the information to cause harm to her because she wrote an email, a message to you saying, you know, I'm breaking out with you. And they were like, okay, I will go online and share the photo or whatever. So that is malinformation. So the intention is to harm the person, but you are using the accurate content. You are using the right content. You did not manipulate a photo using Photoshop, right? Okay, that's clear. The three things: disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. So I want to make this a bit um, interactive. So I want any one of you to just open the microphone. Arma can open the microphone and then tell me what is disinformation in your own word. Another one will tell me what is misinformation. Another one will tell me what is malinformation. And then I will continue. So I will stop sharing so that I can see you well. So maybe I choose Munkwa. So what is disinformation?
Misinformation, at my point of view, is the kind of maybe understanding the information in a wrong way. For example, I can have a real information, then after sharing it, someone can understand it in his own manner, in his own way. So that's there it becomes a misinformation. That is.
No, I asked you the disinformation.
This or miss?
This.
Disinformation. Disinformation. Maybe I didn't get this information well. You should at least explain it again. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, Hussein?
I would say this information in my own word. I would say is that you get information. Maybe the information is real, but because maybe you have benefits or something you want behind, you give it in the manner that it benefits you. Let's say, for example, there is a trend saying that one of the artists from Burundi who said bad words to Rwanda, but the whole interview has other meaning. But because you want your interview to be seen or to trend, you take small information which will attract attention from people, and then you put it online for your own information. For you don't mind the consequences, but you put it there. Maybe later the real information can be out, but this information to me, I would feel like you take information, you manipulate it in a way that benefits you. That's what I think.
Okay, yes, yeah, I agree with you, but maybe let me try to clarify this. So basically, the information you are sharing, you share you share a certain part.
Yes, this benefits you in some point.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with you. For example, that can also be malinformation. So the information is that okay, it is accurate. So you did not. The only thing you did is you just selected it, but still the part you present is accurate, right?
Yes, the thing is, like, the way I think is different with malinformation is that malinformation, people might even know that this is the truth, it's the real information, even though it's going to harm someone else, right? The pictures, the chats you had with your girlfriend, or anything, those was true. You are not lying, even though it's going to harm the other person. But with this
Yes.
information, for me, I think the truth is there. You are the only one who has it. You limit it so that you release what's going to benefit
Hey,
you.
okay. I agree. I agree. Yeah. So there is an idea of falsifying the information. So you somehow, yes, you twist it or you create it entirely wrong, and then you share,
You take a
knowing
small
that.
truth. You take a small truth. Yes, everything is truth, but you take a small truth which is maybe which is beneficial to your own agenda. It will be the one you put
Yes.
out. So long as it
Okay.
benefits, you're good.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. So who else should I ask? JDIL. Misinformation.
Misinformation.
Yes, miss.
Okay, misinformation, as maybe Muka has started that one. It's a wrong interpretation of a certain information, and well, if I'm now going to say that it will be like interpretation of an information that has been shared, and it can spread quickly before the notification of the information. So basically, simply is getting or maybe understanding or interpreting an information in a wrong way or in a wrong manner, and maybe spreading it in that wrong manner in which you have understood the information.
You are right. So basically, you are innocent. I mean, I don't want to use the innocence because you should have checked, right? But pretty much, you did not know the information was wrong, or you misinterpreted, and then you just share, right? Without cross-checking. Okay, I think we get the idea, and then let's move on. And thank you also, Stella Maris, for using the chat. I think you are right. So I was talking about the deepfake. So deepfake is a modified video or an image using artificial intelligence to manipulate the reality. So I was saying maybe you have seen such videos. Sorry. Maybe you have seen those videos For example, I saw the videos of the president of Burkina Faso speaking in a very good English, but we all know he's a francophone. He's not an anglophone, right? But it's very hard to really clearly see if that's wrong or right. So we have to be careful. These days, a lot of photos and videos online are simply not right. So the AI can create a lot of photos and videos like this. So don't be surprised if tomorrow a guy take your photo or your video and manipulated it and it will show you doing or saying something that you never say, you never did, right? So this is called deep fake. Now you know. Okay? Okay. Okay. There's something called the trolls. Frankly speaking, I have to confess, even me, before the training I joined last year, I didn't know what is this. So trolls are people who take pleasure in deliberately provoking others online and sowing discord. So they start provocative debate, they use insults, they post offensive messages. Okay? They operate on forums, blogs, social networks, or any other online medium. So they are everywhere, actually. As a rule, social network trolls hide behind false identities, enabling them to continue to act with impunity. Unlike cyberstalking, they don't know their victims directly and can strike at any time. So the trolls, something that I found very dangerous, that actually there is what we call troll factory or troll farm, which is an organization that bring together and coordinate internet trolls or even hackers who are paid to disseminate partial, biased, or totally misleading information on a massive scale on social networks. Their aim is geopolitical or political destabilization, lobbying, or political propaganda. These troll factories can either originate from private initiative or be set up and coordinated by a government. Wow. Political party or other pressure group. So now for sure this is happening. So a political party, a government, or I don't know, a businessman can hire these trolls, these people, and pay them a lot of money so that they imagine if there are like 100 people on, and then they just go online and they create all sorts of information and they comment and you see, they simply mislead the whole population. The methods used include the payment of commentators on social networks, the aggressive trolling of journalists, or the creation of computer bots, and the immediate outlet disseminating misleading information. Wow. So, you see, one of the, as I said, one of the major issues is that now there is a whole industry behind this kind of thing. And you know what? The thing which is so dangerous is that most of these people are young people. Okay? So these are the young people who go behind the false account. They are paid by a politician, a businessman, and then they mislead all of us. And then we go with wrong information, and they get money and they get rich. So we have to be careful. Finally, algorithm. I think you already know algorithm, right? So in computer sciences, a sequence of instructions that allow to resolve a problem, they are used to make calculations and data processing. It allows us to obtain result without necessarily knowing what is doing. I think you guys know algorithm, it's easy. For the French speakers, I showed a video in French, but for English speaker, I don't have the English version of it. But it's very easy. Have you ever noticed that on your social media, you tend to get the the same type of content. If you like to look at nails, like somebody I don't want to say in public. So you tend to receive a lot of content about nails, right? So if you want to look on cars, sport cars, you tend to have a lot of videos about sport cars. If you like to look at songs, whatever type of songs, you tend to get the same type of content. So basically, as you scroll and you spend time looking at a certain content, that content that attracts you, that video that you watch and they finish, so then the algorithm will know, okay, this is the kind of content you like. And then they keep giving you the same type of content. Okay? And then what's wrong with this? Number one, you will tend to only get the same information. Even if you spend many hours on social media, frankly speaking, you are watching one thing or two things, right? Number two, imagine that you like to get this fake news. Maybe you are consulting this fake account. So the tendency is that you can continue to get more fake news. So it becomes then dangerous. You end up having only fake news and then believing they're right. Okay? So the algorithm is also actually real. Yeah, it's also real. Yeah. Now you know why you have the content. So normally, if you want to know your friend, you just ask them to show you their social media account, and you see what kind of videos and photos and content that pop up. That's what they like to watch regularly. Yeah. Okay. Some of us we need to put a lot of password so that our friends they will not discover some of the things we like to watch. Isn't it? Okay, I was just joking. Okay, so these are the concepts around information online, and they will help us. So now let's play a bit. Okay, so we are going to see if we still understand misinformation, malinformation, or disinformation. Okay, let's play. So I will just be saying something, and then if I say, is this misinformation? The people who they believe it is, they raise the hand. If I say this is disinformation, you can raise the hand. If I say this, you just raise the hand. Okay? Good. So, reposting a negative advertisement about a political candidate without verifying its veracity. Okay. Is this disinformation? Raise the hand if you believe this is disinformation. Okay? I see Munkwa. Okay? Is this misinformation? Misinformation. Raise the hand if you believe this is misinformation. Is this malinformation? Raise the hand. Okay. Okay, let me repeat. Is this disinformation? Raise the hand.
Disinformation.
Yes, disinformation. Okay. Is this misinformation? Or is this malinformation? Okay. This is a malinformation. Why? Because you want to harm the political candidate. Okay? So your intention is to harm this political candidate. Okay? Maybe, I think there is no maybe one right answer. It depends on how you explain yourself. But if we go in that sense that, okay, you are sharing this negative advertisement to harm this political candidate, then this will be malinformation, okay? Forming an argument after reading only one article on a subject, okay? So you read one article and they make a whole argument. And then you share your argument. Okay, is this disinformation? Raise the hand if this is disinformation. Is this misinformation? Misinformation. Okay, yes. I see a lot of people, including online, Brunel, yes. Is this malinformation? Okay, let's see. Yes, this is misinformation. Some people, they say it can be also malinformation. Maybe it's questionable. But at least let's say this is misinformation because you are sharing something you don't know really. You don't know because you just read one article. So you cannot base your whole argument on one article, right? So you don't know, and then you are sharing wrong information. Number 3, editing a photo or video of a political candidate to make it appear real. Editing a photo or video of political candidate to make it appear real. Is this disinformation? Who thinks this is misinformation? And who think this is a malinformation? I see Hussein. Okay, let's see. Yes, this is a disinformation in the sense that you are creating a fake news and you are sharing it knowing exactly that you are lying. So you want to appeal to the people as if this is something true, but you manipulated it. Okay? Talking to other people about a true news story, but omitting important details that might change their mind. So you are talking to other people about a true news story, but you are omitting some important details that might be change their mind. Oh, I see already I have bring it. This is my information. Sorry. So you want to you have a bad intention, right? So that's the easy way to know. Okay. So when you have a bad intention and you manipulate the information for that purpose, that is information. Okay. Retweeting an inflammatory and misleading tweet, knowing that the most readers will not read the article. Okay. This is disinformation. Reading an article about a cure for a disease that hasn't been proven or shared, and share it with your friends. This is the misinformation. Falsifying studies or articles that claim to cure a disease. This is disinformation. Using a bad source to support another bad source. This is disinformation. And acting if someone is more reliable than an expert when you know that's not the case. This is disinformation. Okay. Are we still together? I see people getting out. I hope everything is right. So if you need a break, you can let me know because I still have a few more slides. Is it okay? Okay, great. I hope the content is at least educative, and then you can know different ways of spreading fake news intentionally or unintentionally with some wrong reasons and even when we have right reasons. So then why fake news are created? Okay, number 1, to make money. I told you a lot of people are getting money because of this fake news. We talked already about the troll factory with people who are paid exactly for that. Number 2, recruiting people. So obviously, if you have a troll factory, right? So you create fake news and then you recruit people, right? So for that. Number 3, during the election, fake news can be used to mislead people and then make sure a certain guy win elections, even if he could not win. To amplify their narrative. You might have a view and it's not getting a lot of support, but you want the view to be popular. And then you use fake news for that. So, sorry, I think I will stop. Can I get 1 minute, please? Okay, so some people also create fake news to create more confusion. And finally, to legitimize violence. So that several reasons why people, they found pleasure in creating fake news. So then we should not be innocent, believing, oh, no one can create fake news out of nowhere. Yes, they do for different political, social, and economic purposes. Okay? So the question now is, why are human beings so vulnerable to fake news? Why are we so vulnerable? So first of all, I think you might want to disagree, but it is true. Fake news, we are so vulnerable to fake news. And something, this story is so funny, but it's also educative. There is a guy called James who created the fake news website as a joke to see just how naive internet readers could be. He named his website undergroundnewsreport.com, and it was launched on February 21st. In less than 2 weeks, more than 1 million people had viewed stories on the site and spread them across social media platforms. In less than 2 weeks. He said, I continued to write ridiculous things. They just kept getting shared, and I kept drawing more viewers. I saw how many fake, ridiculous stories were making rounds in these groups and just wanted to see how ridiculous they could get. James even tried to warn viewers by putting a disclaimer on the bottom of his web page saying his posts are fiction and presumably fake news. While a handful of people took the time to email him to ask if stories were real or send hate mails, most of the comments on his links blindly accepted what he wrote as the truth. So we are so vulnerable to fake news. Why? Why then? Okay. In psychology, there is something called cognitive bias, which is a psychological effect that produces a deviation in the mental processing, leading to a distortion, an inaccurate judgment, or an interpretation, which occurs on the basis of the interpretation of available information, even if the data is not logical or unrelated to each other. The term bias refers to a deviation of logical and rational thinking from reality. Cognitive biases lead the subject to attach different importance to facts of the same nature and can be detected when errors appear in a line of reasoning or a judgment. Okay, this is so technical, but let's see what are those biases. So number one is what is called confirmation biases. People tend to seek out and accept information that confirms or support what they already believe. Okay? So if you believe this political candidate is a good person, right? So, or is a bad person, so there is a tendency to simply accept whatever information that confirms that. Okay? So that one is called confirmation biases. Authority bias. If a message comes from an authority figure, expert, or official institution, the mind lowers its level of skepticism. That's why you see a lot of so-called experts explaining things online. And frankly speaking, we all fall in this thing. When you see a guy with a PhD explaining something, you have a small tendency to check by yourself if what he or she is saying is right? So that one is called authority bias. Okay? So if something passed through the national television, right? So already you have tendency to not cross-check. Of course, it passed through the online, the national TV. So you simply say it must be true. Anchoring is the tendency to rely on the first pieces of information received to make subsequent judgments. So the first information you get, you tend to take it as the truth, and then it will guide whatever else information you will get later. Okay? Continuing influence, the tendency to believe false information, even if it has been corrected. Imagine that we have such tendency. So we have the tendency to continue believing false information even when it has been corrected. I think now you understand why conspiracy things, they continue to spread. So people can still believe in them, even if there have been tons of proof that they are wrong. Group favoritism. Humans tend to favor members of the same group over members of other groups. Yeah, that's why you guys, you need to make sure you listen to the other people, those who are not in your group. Because the tendency of human beings is to just seek the confirmation from their peers, right? And then you tend to just reject whatever the other group says. So we need to be careful. Persistence of inaccuracy. We have difficulty remembering whether something was true or false. It is not uncommon for people to claim that information was correct, even if it has been corrected. So all these biases makes us so vulnerable to the fake news. And then we have to know that and be conscious about that. Okay, so as I conclude my slides and I see time is rushing, what can we do then? Number one, please, whenever you see an information, ask yourself these simple questions. Who is the origin of the content that I'm consuming? So you should know who is the origin. What is the writing style? Does the piece use verified information? How can I know if this is real? Is the content biased? What visual element go with the content? So these are simple questions that can help you to at least be careful before you share. Okay? When you send information, please take a moment. So the tendency is to simply share, right? But let's try to take a moment first and then ask ourselves, is the story so outrageous you can't believe it? Or it is the story so outrageous that you believe it? Does the headline matches the article? So this is so important, right? So most of the time you see these headlines, especially on YouTube, you see the headline, now the whole Congo is under the fire, right? You see? And then when you look at it, you see, okay, it's just one person who was killed and two people, right? So the headline is not matching with the content. Are the quotes in context Does the story attack a generic enemy? So a generic enemy like can be like all Burundians, all Africans, not Rodrigue, but Burundians. Okay, so here a few tips. Number one, when you see the text written in capital letters, be careful. The fact of writing in capital letters, it's a way of attracting your attention. Normally, you will realize that the news companies, they don't do that. So when you see capital letters already, you need to be careful. Number two, this blue check is no longer reliable. So we used to know if a Twitter account is having this blue, it simply means it's verified, but it seems since Elon Musk is the leader of Twitter now which is X, these kind of things are no longer checked because it seems he reduced the number of workers. So now everybody can simply get this verification easily. So then don't confirm an account is right or it is true by only referring to this project. Oh, this is a true information. Look, there is even this check. No. It's no longer accurate. At least on X, it's no longer accurate. Verification of the domain, okay? So if you see a .co at the end of a domain, most of the cases, it is a false web account. For example, abcnews.com.co. So that .co is already dangerous. If you land on an unknown website, please verify about. Okay, here you are trying to verify who are the people managing this, for which purpose. That's why you go to about, and then you can type the domain of that website and add the word fake in the Google. So now Google has a system of checking this. So if that account has been associated with fake news, Google will tell you. Yeah, Google will tell you. Maybe, let me do a simple example. I checked this before. Maybe I check that one with you, and then you can see how normally it functions, okay? So if you, okay, sorry. So if you go to Google and say here, abc.news.com .co, and you write fake. Let me see if it comes. You see here, even on Wikipedia, abc.com. Sorry. Let me delete this. Okay. So abcnews.com.co was a fake news website, which you see. So you can see some information about how fake it is. So you can try this whenever you found a website online that is suspicious. When there is this end, at the end there is .co, please be careful. Okay? So look for the same article in a trustworthy media. So if basically this is something good, it's called the media literacy. So normally you should not rely on one single media company. So if something you saw it on this news, please check with others, at least 3 to 5, and then you can be sure that to some high extent that this is right. But I understand we young people, we like to we don't want to give us hard time. Why should I spend my time checking? Yeah, it's for you to not share false information that will harm other people. It's for you to not misinform, okay? Misinform your friends and your cycle. Please take your time and then cross-check with other media before you confirm this is right or not. And then let me repeat this. Even if it is on the national television or national radio, My dear friends, cross-check the information. Please cross-check the information. You never know. For political purposes, for any other purposes, even this one can spread wrong information. Yeah, especially in our region, in our countries. So we have to be careful. Yeah, if we want to build peace online. When it comes to images, make sure you try to understand the content in which the image was used. Look at the clothes of the people, the weather, if it is the winter. For example, imagine a photo showing the winter, but and then saying in Kigali there is this. Come on. We don't believe there will be a winter in Kigali, right? So you can check on those small things. You can look at the road sign, storefront, and billboard. What is the language written on those billboard? Yeah, and they see to check with the location. You can also see the light and consistencies on the photo. Are objects close together illuminated in the same way? If you see a photo of two people, and then you see that the light on the two people are different, maybe it is the Photoshop, and then the person brought them two together. Or have you ever seen these photos where you see a person, the head is bigger and it looks differently from the arms, right? I think you have seen such a thing. So this can show you that this thing is manipulated. Distortion of the contours of the people and objects. These are generally easy to detect. It reveals the poor image manipulation. Okay, so you need to check those images. Here there is a good example. If you see in the left, if you see a photo like this, you see, you can easily believe that this policeman have punched the protester, right? But if you look at the different angle, you will see here the protester. Actually, it is his costume. He put it himself some red color, right? So it's not really blood. So you need to see the angles. So some angles can really be misleading. So the photo was taken in an angle that shows for sure as if there was some aggressivity. But if you look at the other angle, you see it's totally different. So this is a good example of how the images taken from different angles can lead to wrong information. Okay, so I think we all use WhatsApp, right? So did you guys know this? How do we call it? Allo? Yes, this allo of forwarded. If it is like this, it means this message is forwarded. That means the person who is sending it to you, he got it from somewhere else. And then if there are two allos like this means that the message has been shared for more than 5 times, 5 and more. So then if you see something like this, you better be cautious about it. So there are also a few tips on how to detect the fake account. Number one, look at the user account. So if a user account, it is 1, 2, 3, only numbers, be careful. There is also this account of parody. So if you see a username called parody, so be careful. So I think I received from my coach this example. Let me show it to you. So I'm talking about my coach because, as I told you, I am not an expert in this domain. I'm simply sharing about a training I got last year. Okay. Okay, I will share with you this. Just 1 minute, please. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now I will share. Okay. So, if you see something like this, okay, this will be a parody account. So, you have to be careful. So, when we talk about parody, that means it is an account. So, actually, a person will use your photo profile and your name, kind of, to pretend as if you are the one. It's your own account, but it's not actually your account. So that's what we call parody, if I understood it correctly. Okay? Yes, I continue with the tips. So when you see a picture of a beautiful lady in a bikini, haha, be careful. Be careful. Don't just follow. I hope some men are listening to me, even girls, even ladies. Okay? So if you see an account with 0 followers, be careful. If you see an account with zero posts, be careful. If you see an account with many followers but small engagement, you see an account which has maybe 1 or 2 posts, but it has 5,000 followers, be careful. Because normally we know you raise your followers by doing what? By posting more, right? If you receive some spammy DMs, these direct messages, be careful. Okay? Random comment on the posts. Okay? And when you see these promotions, I think this is very relevant. Oh, there is this product. If you just send this amount of money, you will get this exaggerated gains. We have to be careful. Okay. Okay, as I conclude, I want to let you know that there are different tools, online tools that you can use to check if an information is right or wrong. There is Twitternomy, there is YouTube Data Viewer, there is a Deepware, TimeEye, Google News Initiative. All of these tools are available pretty much on free of charge, and then you can use them to verify your information. Unfortunately, I will not lead you to that. This is something I hope we can do in the camp, but meanwhile, you can do it yourself. So you can already check how to use it. It's most of the time it's easy. You just upload the photo or the link into those tools, and then they will tell you if this is wrong or right. So you have resources to share. To check if your information are right or wrong. Okay, that's it from me. Now I stop sharing and get your comment and why does fake news spread so fast than the real one on social media? This is a question from Wamahoro's Nema. Yes, we have already said it, because human beings are so vulnerable to fake news. Yes, so we already explained that we have tendencies to share the fake news. We have tendencies to confirm what we already believed in, even if it is not right. So we are so vulnerable. So I hope you were here before when I was explaining the idea of cognitive biases. So that's the reasons why the fake news they spread. But Emma, you can tell me. So, for example, if you see a news of this star, he got married last year, now he's divorcing. And then a news was saying like the president visited the city of Tokyo. So you have tendencies to share the former news, right? So we have this tendency of just sharing. If the news we believe it looks what? It is so surprising. It is so you just want to be the first to share it. So that's why we are so vulnerable to this. We have to be careful. How do we handle situation where our belief clashes with content flagged as I see. So this is a good question from Stella Maris. How do we handle situation where our beliefs crashes with content flagged as hate speech? Stella Maris, I think this is the right observation, right? So sometimes things are considered as hate speech, but frankly speaking, we don't believe these are hate speech. I think that's what you want to say, right? So you are just sharing, right? I see. I understand here there is a moral dilemma, right? So there is a moral dilemma. So you are accusing me to commit hate speech, but I don't think so, right? Friends, we need to remember that we are not the only people in the world, especially online, right? So sometimes we want just to say, okay, we are right. If other people, they think we are just wrong, it's up to them. Okay, we will continue to do what we have to do. But as a peace builders, I think we can try to understand them. Maybe try to ask them why they think so, and if possible, try to look for a common ground. Yeah, so I think this is the dilemma. I don't have the right answer to it, but it's always good to be gentle. Yeah, it's always good to be gentle, right? Okay, so now I see comment from, sorry, Mr. Amaris, I don't have a direct answer for that. It's just a moral dilemma. So my values and your values are incompatible. So what do we do? So we look for a common ground, and if possible, we try to be gentle to others. Okay? The caller, Grace, Gas, taking news pretty quickly. To identify them, it's essential to cross-reference information with multiple sources. I agree with you. How can you detect everything without a minute looking everywhere? How can you detect everything without a minute? Sino merci pour tout says, okay. So my understanding is that it's really difficult to detect all this if information is right or wrong. Right, Grace? How does university balance freedom of expression with protecting students from harmful content? Yeah, Stella Maris, thank you again. This is again the dilemma, moral dilemma I told you. We need to be for sure balanced. You are right. So under the name of freedom of expression, we should not harm other people. So in the principle, freedom of expression, okay, maybe let me be the devil's advocate. Normally, when we talk about freedom of expression, it includes harming others because you are free to say whatever you want to say. But frankly speaking, for the sake of peace, no, it should not be the case, right? So we need to refrain even the freedom of expression if we think that freedom of expression is harming other people. Yeah. So we need to be balanced. I agree with you. The freedom of expression should not be a reason to do. In fact, that's something I think we should cultivate in ourselves. Have you ever seen the politicians? They use freedom of expression to, say whatever about their opponent. So for me, I have a very clear policy in my mind. If I see a politician, instead of telling me his politics or for improving infrastructure or for improving whatever, he just spent the whole time accusing the other guys. Even if it is under the name of freedom of expression, for sure that politician is not mine. Yeah, so we have to be careful. Yeah. I see here, go, this hasn't been answered. I hope this is the one that now I'm answering. Let me see. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the one you answered now.
Thank you very much, Stella Maris. There is a question about how to fight deepfake, and my answer is very simple. Among the tools that I provided, there is one that actually help you to check if the video is accurate or not. So use it. Another question is, are we going to trust 100% what the local radios tells us? And my answer is very simple. No, don't trust 100%. So the idea of trust 100% on news, no, forget about it. You need to cross-check them by consulting other media. Another question is, if one village, one tribe was attacked by another one, and then how can we prevent the victims to spread hate speech against the people who attacked them? So my answer was, we need to have a process of de-traumatization, but also reconciliation by bringing these two tribes together so that they can discuss and get healed. Because normally, when there is a trauma, the tendency of human being is to not think correctly. So that's why when I know my tribe was victims of the other tribe, I will have a tendency to generalize. I will not think twice. I will simply say, okay, you guys did it. Even if it is one or two people who did it, I will say all the people are the same, right? So we need for sure to work hard to bring some reconciliation, some trauma healing. Yeah. Okay. There was also another question about, is it possible to live in a world without disinformation and malinformation? Why we know some people get money out of it? And my answer was that yes, some people get money out of it. That's why you have to be careful by doing what? By at least not sharing those information. So we cannot change the world just in a split of a second. No, we need to continuously do some activities together. And for me, I always say, start by you. So make sure you share information that you have cross-checked. Number two, in YENA, we are going to do the fact-checking via our social media platform. So this is a project we are building. Maybe Brunel can say more about it, but we have already we are in contact with one organization that has expertise in that. They will help us to develop such fact-checking maybe next year so that we can contribute as little as we can. We have a question from Audrey. So how can the government and organization regulate the spread of false information, especially because they have a role to play? And my answer is clear. The government should establish the laws. I think now Congo and Rwanda, they have those laws. Maybe even Burundi, I'm not sure. Sorry, and once those laws are in place, we have to enforce them by training the police and all the institutions involved so that they can really enforce the law. And this is not only for citizens, but also politicians. Now we know politicians, they really do these kind of things so that they can stay on power or be on power. So once they are found to be guilty, they should be punished seriously. So the final question was, how can we fight against misinformation with the people who are not motivated to verify the information? Delphi was giving an example of his village where a lot of young people, they don't want to verify the information. Even an audio on WhatsApp, they think it is true. And then I said, that's why we need to do a lot of sensitization. And through YENA, we are going to do some sensitization next year on these kind of things. Okay. And then the fellow was saying, maybe you can create clubs in schools and universities, and they bring this topic. I agree. I agree. We can even use the club that already exists. Because sometimes I don't like this idea. Every organization is starting clubs in schools. And then we found there is Peace Club, there is this club, there is that club, there's that club. No. We can simply use the already existing structures in schools and universities. Okay, so my understanding. Okay, yeah. So the idea is that we are going to collaborate with La Cloche. This is a Congolese organization which has expertise in this domain, and we try not only to do some sensitization but also trainings to equip general public, but also especially young people, on how to do the fact checking. So I hope this is an initiative you can contribute to. And for me, I'm no longer translating, but I'm saying my view on this. Yeah, imagine we are coming from different corners. So I'm in Rwanda, Delphi is in Congo, Audrey is in Burundi. So we are everywhere in the region, right? So that means if there is fake news and you know you were there, you can get some accurate information, you can tell us. And then we put it on our social media and in any other form. And then the people can, slowly, people can come to trust us as a reliable source of information. So friends, thank you very much. I see also in the room that we have many people who waited. So thank you very much for your active participation. Oh, there is a question here. I see. Mukwa, yes, please. Sorry, I forgot to give you the floor.
Yeah. So thank you for the floor, and I'm sorry because I went out with my question, and I don't know if they have already asked it, but I'm going to try to at least get an answer from you. So my question is about the misinterpretation. You have explained us that misinterpretation is any information sharing without the intention of making a fake news, if I'm not mistaken. And then my question is concerning this matter. Is saying like how can we know then that the information is is shared by mistake, or is just a kind of creating a fake news? That is my question.
Yes, of course. That's what we are learning. Number one, I gave you a lot of tips. Maybe you were out.
Yeah.
Number one, you need to see how the information appear, the image, the content. See if the title of the content is matching with the content itself. You can even use the tools that I shared with you, which can tell you if it's a fake news or not. Yeah. So basically, you should not just simply share whatever you get. Yeah, it's very weird when you see a young man from university or even a professor or whoever sharing you with an information. Go do this and get 100,000 money. Come on, right? So basically, my simple answer is this: take your time before you share.
Okay.
Take your time before you share. And then you can use the tools to check if there is a possibility. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Any other question from the room? Are you all fine?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So this is marking then the end of our 2.5 months of learning and learning. And then all the sessions will be online. Actually, there are many are already online, and the rest we put them online. So you can go back and educate yourself and grow. So we keep in touch via the YENA platforms. via the YENA WhatsApp groups. There is one for the members who have been together. There is one for new members. You can reach out to me. I'm going to put my WhatsApp phone number in the box. Let's keep in touch. The activity was postponed, but we will continue preparing it. And then remember to complete the feedback forms, all of them. Now you have 8 months to do that. Please do so that we can see how you engage with the content. Encore une fois, merci beaucoup. Let's make peace online.